In fact, this is probably the first time since I've been the general manager. I'm Peter Gell, general manager of the Metropolitan Opera. Welcome.
Ravi!
This is the first time that we've actually been able to have a panel discussion on the stage of the Met, because our performances typically are either ending in the evenings on weekdays, or on Saturday matinees, we immediately have to change the stage for the Saturday evening performance. So we thought we'd experiment today, for those of you who want to stick around and hear us for a little while, hear our great artists, talking about their participation in this performance. I should point out also, these Sunday matinees are a brand new presentation of the Met. And And I think a far more satisfying alternative than staying at home watching our elected officials lie on Sunday talk shows. Our singers have already sung for their summers, but then we'll be letting them out of here soon. But we're very grateful to them for even after all that suffering and dying on stage, to stick around for a few minutes to talk. So, as you know, we have here sitting on the stage our esteemed maestro, Marco Emiliato.
Bravo!
And our superb cast, soprano Eileen Perez.
Bravo!
Mezzo-soprano Olga Kulczynska.
Bravo!
Who's actually making this is her debut run at the Met, so we're very
Bravo.
And of course, a longtime Met favorite, tenor Matthew Polenzani.
Bravo!
And baritone David Bezic, who's we're grateful to have back.
Bravo!
I'm glad to see you all maintain your enthusiasm. So, you know, I just before we start talking to them, I'd like to point out that this production of La Bohème was directed by Franco Zeffirelli, who, as you know, died last summer. And this is the most popular production in the history of the Met. This was the 491st performance today. So don't worry, we're going to keep it.
491.
And some of the greatest Met stars have sung in this garret, Luciano Pavarotti, Anna Netrebko, and many others. So let me start by asking each of you, what does it feel like singing in this iconic Met production? Eileen?
Historic. I think that I admire so many. We're very lucky in 2019. We have so many recordings and so many video archives. The Met, of course, has their exceptional library. You can even browse online. And you just step into the shoes not only of your character, but the legacy of this wonderful, of the many, many artists who have graced this stage. And it feels like an honor, and at the same time, it feels like a friendship and a kinship you have with those gone before you.
And also with us who are sitting here. Yeah. And I pray you all were aware of how much we really, really like each other. We have really, this has been one of the funnest casts I've ever had, not just for Bohème, but in my career. Just a really fun group of people, and we like each other, and we laugh, and we smile, and we joke, and we're together on the stage, and it feels very real. And it's funny because before we even started, like I had to look through the Met archives to see the people who'd sung, not just Bohème, like in this production, but like since this building opened in '66, and like looking through all the names, it was pretty awesome. And then started looking through like who had sung this production. And yeah, it's not that there are ghosts here or anything like that, but there is a real sense of family and kinship and history that you feel when you step on the stage. And we're lucky that we've got this, which makes you feel so much like this is where we are. We're in Paris, and we're in a little crappy apartment, and it feels very real and very good. And I'm so grateful that I got to do it.
So Olga, you're brand new to the Met stage.
Sorry?
You're brand new to the Met stage,
Yeah.
but you sound great.
Thank you. This is, for me, is very, in general, important experience, and in this production particularly, because also it gives a feeling that you are, like Matthew just said, that you are in Paris, and also you don't need to add anything. You just have to live. Just have to live with this music, with this text, and just join, these old people on stage and have fun. And that's incredible feeling.
So, David, as far as you're concerned, you're sort of the, I guess, the ringleader in terms of bringing the camaraderie to this group of bohemians. How much of that is the actual staging, and how much of it is what you and your colleagues bring yourselves?
Well, it always depends of the crew, of the people you're working with, if you're going to stage a lot or not. And there's lots of technical little details with props that we had to go through a few times. But once we saw that we are quite compatible and we really like each other and we like to hang out with each other, we've kind of decided not to rehearse too much. And although rehearsals, repetition legitimizes things, it was actually the humanity we have is made from silence and non-rehearsing, just being there in the right moment. So we are experiencing every scene for the first time, I would say, every night, and that's how it feels like.
I wouldn't want our audience to think that most casts don't like each other. Marco, Maestro,
Yes.
Yato,
Marco is fine.
well, how do you keep each performance feeling so fresh?
Well, thank you first. And this special production for me is so important in my life. On the 80s, when the production was open, in Italy it was broadcasting during the night actually, and I was put my wake up time to watch the fantastic new production from the Met, La Bohème, Zeffirelli singing by Luciano Pavarotti, was Renata Scotto singing Musetta, Teresa Strata, sounding like all my idol, all my best singer of that time. So get here and make my debut in '98 with this production, with a supercast again, and the beautiful, space is just magic. And keep it now after so many years, conducting so many performances of La Bohème, and every time is different. Every time I find a different group of people, different time is a different group of mentality. The things to keep young this production, but not only this production, just even the music. And those people especially, when I talk about Bohème, I always say, I want this opera young and fresh. That's the answer to your question, Peter. But in the same time, it's so hard to conduct the same opera, the same music, constantly with the same situation. So thanks God, we have such a beautiful cast and a different occasion to refresh the opera and play every day as the first time. To me, today was one of the first time I conducted La Bohème. I don't think about the past, I don't think about the background. I'm so happy to perform with those people. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
You're such a great artist.
Habib!
It's something special.
I think there are some people in the audience here today who have never been to the Met, and which is one of the reasons why we wanted to begin having performances on Sunday matinees, to be able to attract new audiences. I think it might be, I don't know if everybody realizes, I'm sure, obviously people who come to the opera often know this, but there's absolutely no amplification on the stage of the Met. To be an opera singer, to sing in this beautiful, large, acoustical space, you have to really, your whole body is your own instrument. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that, about what are the technical challenges of being an opera singer?
Well, I could say, since I've been here the longest of us, but I have to say, first of all, that this acoustic is one of the great ones in the world. And obviously they designed it like that, but even when we're being really, really quiet, it is still audible in the house, and part of that has to do with our brilliant maestro, who is aware that, you know, when things have to be like this tiniest little thread of sound, that the orchestra has to follow suit. And but yeah, you know, it's funny because we have to train. It's not just, you know, like being a singer is very much like being an athlete. You know, you really have to train the same way any athlete who wants to be, a long distance runner or a baseball player or whatever, if it's soccer. I mean, like, we have to train the same way. We have to practice, we have to use our voice, we have to refine, we have to get better as we go along. Hopefully, as our careers grow, we're growing not just as artists with ideas of drama, but also our voice and our technique as it changes as we get older, and we have to go with that and work with it and use it and live with it and you know, caress it, so that by the time we arrive at the end of an opera, you know, we're not going like this or anything. You know, I mean, like, you know, I mean, it's a very athletic thing to be a singer.
Except for Eileen when she's done.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Do you want to comment on that, Eileen?
Sure. I just think it's an incredible art form. I mean, we all have a voice, and we're giving voice to people who, as well, these characters, but maybe there's always a bigger picture. I think that what is extraordinary about opera, it includes so many emotions that we all feel, all from different backgrounds, all from different moments in life. Where you are right now is going to be a different place than when you come back in 10 years and see Bohème again, you know, and who you're with and how these voices, these people smile at you or bring the character to life. It's everything. Opera is so everything. And our technique, and to be able to shine our voice and to bloom is again what refreshes this piece. And I like to think of La Bohème as a piece of architecture, really grand architecture, just like this hall. And every time you step in a new season or a new performance, it's a different lighting. The colors change, and you're different. Your heart is your psychology, the age, everything. You can play on all of it. All of it's valuable, and that's why I love this art form, and that's why I get moved to tears every time if I hear, you know, the orchestra. How there's so many subtle things at every level, from lighting to the people on crew, to the people in the pit, to our maestro, all of this. And you make the difference as well. The energy you bring by being here and hanging out with us, we feel it. We feel you too. We really do. And you can tell I love this. We all do.
So, you know, for singers like Eileen and Matthew, singing these roles has been kind of, in a way, a culmination of years and years of training. You just started singing Rodolfo 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
3 years ago. So for Olga, you are Musetta is typically a role that is sung often is sung by a younger soprano. So
We did good there.
yeah, we did very well. We're very happy with our casting. So tell us about your path. I mean, how did you end up here on the stage of the Met today?
Oh, it's a long journey, but for me it's long. But for some people, I started to sing. It was 6 years ago. I started to sing in the professional stage.
But did you want to be an opera singer from the beginning?
Not from the beginning, but no. I just love to sing. I just love to sing from my childhood. So, and then opera catched me, and that's all. I was in love immediately. But to sing here, this musette, because it's not my first musette. It's my debut at the Met. but I feel like I'm singing this role first time because of this production, because of all my colleagues, because they are so, they really have passion to this music, and they love to this art, and it's incredible feeling because it not happens often, quite often, and I really enjoy every second of being on stage with all of them, and to create this incredible role. Also, I love it very much. And I had a lot of long journey of practicing and improving my technique and everything. But I understood one day that when you come on stage, you have to just forget about everything and just open your heart and do what Matthew and Eileen just said. That just enjoy your atmosphere of this stage, and enjoy every second.
I saw you all sort of shaking your heads when about the idea that I guess none of you intended to become opera singers at the beginning. How about you, David? Did you want to be an opera singer when you started singing?
I wanted to be a conductor when I was a child. And I remember...
There's still a chance.
Yes, I took a picture actually right there a long time ago, like a selfie, how I would look in the pit. I want to be a conductor, and I was actually conducting the three tenors a lot in my room, and so I did conduct opera, and then I wanted to be an actor, but I don't want to talk about it. And
You should sing as well.
Certainly not acting well.
I mean, acting in theater, I had lots of problem of how to control the silence between words and between sentences. And once I discovered opera and the music doesn't wait for me, and I have all the liberty I can find within those bars, it liberated me to feel the music and move with it. And that's how I transferred from non-acting to singing. And yes, and then that's it.
Cool. So, Marco,
I never want to sing.
never wanted to sing. Well, we'll never know whether that was a good decision or not. What is if you're analyzing this wonderful score, what would you say is what is your favorite part of this opera?
Well, I think Bohème, it's one of the, we call them one of the perfect opera, because it's, drama starts from the beginning to the end, and we have the perfect circle of the life, actually, because, starting with a little love between Rodolphe and Mimi, then the difficult love between Musetta and Marcello, and this all the typical things that happen in life. Then she gets sick, and we are all worried about her. Musically, the score is very descriptive, as Puccini always does. I mean, it's so the passion of Puccini in the music is mirroring in stage where they're singing. So it's like has to be a huge collaboration between singer and orchestra. And I find Bohème one of the perfect score, as I say, in the opera world, because it's very, very descriptive and very underlined in any single situation.
Yeah, I know that Met Orchestra is famous for its ability to listen to the singers on stage,
yes,
and to try to be with them.
And here we have the privilege to have this amazing orchestra that is so flexible, plays so much repertoire. In the same week, they're able to play 5 different opera in 5 different styles, always perfect and always in a great top level. That's a fantastic help for us, of course.
So I think we've run out of time, actually, and I thank you all for joining us.
Whoa, thank you. Thank you.
So if you think this experiment was successful, we'll do it again.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.